Good evening, everyone. I am Robert Byrd, and I am the team leader for this semester's Water4 project. Our team has worked with a nonprofit client based in Oklahoma City to develop a free market solution to the Kenyan water crisis. It's been a very humbling opportunity to be this team's team leader because they have such an incredible amount of brilliance, tenacity, and creativity. I truly believe that there is no limit to what they can accomplish. The creativity was probably best on display this semester when they had an entire conversation using almost nothing but water puns. And it really impressed me. I could not keep up. I would also like to take a moment to thank, on behalf of the team, our mentor and our fellow, Tom Appel and Susan Mooring, for their willingness to attend our late night meetings and give us guidance throughout the project. I'd also like to thank Zach McCulloch and Ray Sanders of Water4 for giving us the vision to work on this project and also giving us the opportunity to solve this incredibly large problem in Kenya. And I would like to also thank Megan Nash, the graphic designer for CCW, who created some of the incredible visuals that you will see tonight. So with that, I hope you guys will help me to welcome this team to the stage.
How would you feel if you cannot provide clean water to your loved ones? This is Jimmy, a Zambian citizen who drills wells for Water4. He has a wife and 2 young daughters, and he once struggled on a daily basis to provide clean water for them. Every day he lived in fear because he knew he could not protect them from water-related diseases caused by drinking contaminated water. Water4, an Oklahoma City nonprofit organization, changed Jimmy's life by giving him the opportunity to drill wells. Jimmy's work allows his family and his community members to now have access to clean water. Water4 wants to help the 16.5 million people in Kenya who, like Jimmy, don't have access to clean water. However, they want to implement a more sustainable solution than what they're currently doing. To help Water4 achieve their goals, our team has validated a financially viable business model that has Kenyan entrepreneurs selling water to their community members at a low cost of 2 cents per 20-liter jerry can. And we have also designed a pilot project to test this concept. With this model, Water4 will be able to provide clean water access to 90,000 Kenyans and create 460 job opportunities in just 5 years. My name is Jane C., and I'm a biochemistry and letters sophomore from Edmond, Oklahoma.
My name is Katie Vanchiere, and I'm a biology senior from Shreveport, Louisiana.
I'm Daniel Cartwright, and I'm a finance junior from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
I'm Meghan Gallagher. I'm an international studies senior from Leesburg, Virginia.
Our team lead this semester is Robert Byrd. The CEO of Water4 is Ray Sanders, and our mentor is Tom Appel, and we are Team Water4. Since it was founded in 2008, Water4 has been working to eradicate the worldwide water crisis. And with their affordable technology, the Access 1.2, which Katie is holding here, since it's made out of locally available materials, it is affordable and it's also easy to use. With this technology, Water4 has been able to provide clean water access to more than 500,000 people, as well as create 275 jobs for drill and repair teams in 26 different countries. However, Water4's current solution is not self-sustaining. Because it relies on donations and gives free water to the communities, there is no infrastructure for repair. Currently, 30% of all wells in Africa break and are not fixed. This results in many communities losing their access to clean water. The solution to this problem is a public and private partnership. First, we start with the Regional Operating Center, which is Water4's representative in Kenya that manufactures materials and provides training. The Kenyan county government will give a one-time fund to the Regional Operating Center, which will then be able to provide materials and training to Kenyan entrepreneurs who can then sell clean water at 2 cents per 20-liter jerry can to their community members. This model is self-sustaining because of 3 unique features. First, because the Access 1.2 is made out of locally sourced materials, it makes it easy to manufacture in Kenya, and it is also easy to fix whenever it breaks. Second, this entrepreneurial model encourages entrepreneurship. because the Regional Operating Center provides training and materials to the Kenyan entrepreneurs, and this is only made possible by the public and private partnership. Lastly, because Water4 is working directly with local governors in these counties, this will facilitate operations within the communities. However, although this entrepreneurial model seems really promising, Water4 doesn't have a clear idea of how to implement this in Kenya. Our team has worked to create a solution to help successful implementation, and our work falls under 3 main categories. First, we have helped Water4 identify a clear target market in Kenya by looking at several factors of each county to determine where our model will work best. Second, we have validated that this model is financially viable and that it was profit-driven for the entrepreneurs. Lastly, we have designed a pilot project to test the assumptions of this model in Nyamira County before moving to full rollout in all of Kenya. Now that I've talked about what our team has done this semester, Katie is going to discuss how we determined our target market.
Thank you, Jane. The comprehensive approach that Jane described will allow Water4 to bring clean water to 4.3 million Kenyans. These Kenyans inhabit 11 of the 40 rural counties in Kenya, counties which we've selected by identifying the necessities of the Water4 model and narrowing to accommodate them. By narrowing the entirety of Kenya to the 40 rural counties, we'll be able to bring the largest impact possible to these areas. Now we need to take a look at the geology. Hand auger drilling that will install the Access 1.2 hand pump cannot drill deeper than 20 meters below the ground level. So by working with hydrogeology experts, we've identified the counties in which our pump technology is sure to be successful. We then focus on the counties in which there is more than 50% of the population who currently lacks access to clean water. And to accommodate the price point required by the Water4 model, we had identified the counties in which 2 cents per 20-liter jerry can falls within the World Health Organization's recommendations for household contribution to water, 4 to 8% of household income. These 4 criteria allowed us to narrow our market to the 11 counties that you see here. But this doesn't give us a ground-level view of our customers. Who are these individuals, and how can Water4's service help them on a daily basis? Our customers are currently getting water from an unimproved water source, likely a stream or lake contaminated by agricultural runoff and animal waste. Furthermore, they're walking 3 to 6 miles each day to obtain this water that's only going to make their families sick. Our customers are likely working in agriculture and support families of 7 on average. However, they only have $72 a month to support this large family. Water4 will be able to reach these customers, located in the 11 counties I've mentioned, through their comprehensive business model that puts the solution to the water crisis in the hands of Kenyan entrepreneurs. But there are other companies that are already attempting to reach these individuals. So let's take a look at those companies and see how Water4 stacks up. We compared Water4 to other development NGOs, such as SUWASA, who operate a comprehensive business model, meaning that they incorporate both the physical drilling of the well with community outreach. We compared Water4 to aid-centered NGOs, such as Well Aware, The Water Project, and Living Water International, who contract with existing Kenyan drill teams, such as Kisima Drilling, WillMag, and African Water Drilling, to accomplish the same results that Water4 or SUWASA could accomplish on their own. We compared these companies across 4 metrics. First, let's take a look at cost to end user. While free access to water that the aid-centered NGOs can offer is attractive to our customers, charging a small price point allows Water4 and SUWASA to introduce a profit motive to entrepreneurs. This means that these individuals will be driven to maintain these wells, not only to install them, but to repair them as necessary and to ensure that the water solution that Water4 or SUWASA is giving is sustainable and long-term. These entrepreneurs will fill the critical role of individuals who maintain these wells, so that the problem that Jane mentioned of 30% of these wells being non-functional will never occur in these communities. Finally, to ensure that the solution is long-term, it must be replicable across Kenya. Aid-centered NGOs rely on charitable donations, which are limited, and because they contract with existing Kenyan drill teams, must be near urban areas where those drill teams exist. SUWASA also relies on limited funding from US government grants, and their model is specifically tailored to urban areas, significantly limiting their potential for impact across Kenya. Water4's model, by introducing a small price point, puts the solution to the Kenyan water crisis into the hands of entrepreneurs. And this model is replicable across any of the 11 counties that I mentioned, ultimately with the potential to impact 4.3 million Kenyans. In retrospect, that small price point is what makes Water4's model sustainable and replicable. And now I'll hand it over to Daniel to talk about how that price point connects each entity of the model and makes them financially viable.
Thank you, Katie. Katie explained how our model is competitive and viable across Kenya. So now let's take a look at the different components of the model and how they interact. The Regional Operating Center, or the ROC, is Water4's operations hub on the ground in Kenya. It liaises with local governments and trains, equips, and supports local entrepreneurs. These entrepreneurs fall into two types: the kiosk operator, who owns the well and sells water, and the drill and repair team, who installs the well. Let's take a look at these interactions on a monthly basis from the perspective of the kiosk operator. The kiosk operator receives well materials and business training from the ROC for a total cost of $2,450. He or she pays this cost off over the course of 5 years with monthly payments of $41. Other costs to the kiosk operator include repair expense and insurance expense. With the well, the kiosk operator sells water to members of the community for 2 cents per 20-liter jerry can, or a total monthly revenue of $76. This revenue is what allows the kiosk operator to repay his or her capital costs. Now let's take a look from the perspective of the drill and repair team. The drill and repair team receives drilling training and a hand auger drill kit from the ROC for a total cost of $5,400. The drill team divides this cost among its 5 members and pays it off over the course of 2 years, making monthly payments of $225. With the drill kit, the drill and repair team installs the well for the kiosk operator, receiving a fee of $158. This fee is paid for upfront by the ROC, but included in the kiosk operator's loan payments. A drill and repair team can drill 4 wells per month, equaling a total monthly revenue of $630. This revenue is what allows the drill and repair team to pay back their capital costs. Now that we see how the different components of the model interact, let's take a look at how they profit financially. Despite considerable capital costs, the ROC breaks even in year 4 and is cash flow positive in year 5. This is because it sells 90 wells per year. This model is profitable even though it assumes a very conservative growth rate. A total of 450 wells in year 5 means $1.1 million of revenue for the ROC and allows Water4 to bring clean water to 90,000 Kenyans, creating 460 jobs for local entrepreneurs along the way. The 2 things that this model needs to be successful are local entrepreneurs and $500,000 to cover construction and initial operating costs. Water4 has the existing donor base to raise this funding, so let's take a look at how the model appeals to local entrepreneurs. We found that a drill and repair team will make 13% more than the Kenyan minimum wage and is fully employed in an economy with 40% unemployment. For the kiosk operator, we found that he or she makes $18 of profit per month, which serves as a supplemental income. Because the kiosk operator only works 4.5 hours per day, he or she has time to pursue other jobs, as is common among Kenyan entrepreneurs. When we spoke with Caroline from the Maisha Project and Abdallah from Innovate Kenya, their enthusiasm confirmed our findings that this rate is not only very promising for the individual entrepreneur, but represents a unique opportunity for all of rural Kenya. Now that we see how the different components of the model interact and how it appeals to local entrepreneurs, I'll turn it over to Meghan, who will explain how we'll implement it.
Thank you, Daniel. Daniel has just explained to us all the different components of our model, and we understand from past Water4 initiatives that the Regional Operations Center and the drill and repair teams can function, but we still need to understand better how the community members interact with kiosk operators. To do this, Water4 has secured a grant of $115,000 from the government of Nehemiah County. This county falls well within our target market. The pilot project will last 1 year and consist of 60 well sites. The 1-year project will allow us to test in both wet and dry seasons, and the 60 well sites will allow us to observe many different circumstances. In this pilot project, Water4 will be testing the willingness to pay of community members for access to clean water. We are also suggesting that Water4 test a low interest loan to the kiosk operators to test their profit motive, as well as recoup the cost to further the initiative forward. To do this, Water4 has already begun selecting well sites in near Myra County that meet all of our qualifications, most importantly, the geology. Once all 60 entrepreneurs have been chosen, they'll move into an intense training curriculum and marketing campaign. This training curriculum will teach them exactly how the model works, and then they will go into their communities and market one-on-one to their friends and family. At the same time, Water4 will be hosting WASH seminars in order to cater to a larger audience. Once this has been completed, Water4 will contract with many different drilling companies in order to install all 60 wells in a 4-week period. Now that the entrepreneurs have the training and equipment necessary, they will begin 6 months of operations until their first evaluation cycle. In this evaluation cycle, Water4 will test how much revenue each kiosk operator brings in on a daily basis from water sales. We'll also be testing how many community members are willing to use our services, which marketing strategies worked the best to get health information out to community members, as well as which type of person is the right person to operate our kiosks. Once the feedback from this evaluation cycle has been implemented, kiosk operators will go into another 6 months of operations before a second identical evaluation cycle will happen. After the feedback from both evaluation cycles is implemented, Water4 can move into a full rollout in which they can reach all 11 counties and 4.3 million people. So to recap from my teammates, after hours of research, conversations with experts all across the university and the state, as well as talking with Kenyans on the ground, Water4 is excited about, or our team is excited about the impact that Water4 can make. By expanding across Kenya, Water4 can reach 4.3 million Kenyans with access to clean water. With our comprehensive business model, all components can be financially sustainable by year 5, and a year-long pilot project will allow us to test all the assumptions that we've made. Water4 has an incredible vision to eradicate the world water crisis, and our team is excited to contribute a small portion to that. Thank you for your time. We would now like to open the floor to questions.
Okay, the technology is the Access 1.2 hand pump, which was developed in a collaboration between Water4 and Pumps of Oklahoma. That's the pump I was holding on stage at the beginning of the presentation. It's made entirely out of PVC pipe, and it does not incorporate a filtration into the pump itself. However, Kenyans are used to adding a tablet, usually chlorine, to their water to reduce the risk of any arsenic or fluoride contamination in that water. And we will encourage Water4 kiosk operators to either implement that filtration or that cleansing into the water or sell it at their kiosks. So this is the technology that Water4 will be implementing in this model. The labor cost to implement one well is only $158. So that is what will be paid to the drill and repair team for their services. The rest of the costs are for the materials, the pump itself, as well as the materials that will be needed to install the well and put in the pipes down under the ground.
Okay, so to record, during the evaluation cycles, entrepreneurs will actually be recording data every single day. So just how many people have come to the well, which we can expect to be about 200 on average from past Water4 wells. That's how many people that can reasonably use the pump within a community. But the entrepreneurs will actually be writing down every day how many people came to the well, how much revenue in total they've generated, and we'll be reaching out to those 60 entrepreneurs. Since it's such a low number, and Water4 is is going to be resource intensive on this pilot project, we'll have people on the ground that can reach out to those 60 entrepreneurs on a frequent basis to make sure they're following the evaluation metrics, as well as look at the entrepreneur type and which one looks better, and the marketing strategies by reaching out to individual community members and what they saw the most and what they felt educated the most about the health issues.
Yes, absolutely. So the owners of each well will not own the physical well until they've paid off all of the costs of the materials at the end of the 5th year of operations. So during that time, Water4's Regional Operating Center management team will still be not technically they're not their employer, but they will still be having some say in how the business is run. If a kiosk operator refuses to adhere to what Water4 has set out as the best way to operate their business, then Water4 reserves the right to remove that kiosk operator from their business and to give the well to someone else.
Can this system be implemented in other countries? Why Kenya?
So this system, Water4 chose Kenya for this system because they have a lot of development work going on. They have a government initiative called Vision 2030 that one of the specific goals is providing access of water to all their citizens, which makes this a great place to start for Water4. One of their other goals is to increase economic activity within rural communities. So that's why we chose Kenya to start with, but there's no reason this couldn't be implemented in other countries. We have time for one more question. We have one. I think the robot has a question.
Oh, water rights are public. Yeah, thank you.
A question from Twitter about the photo. If you could tell us more about the photo that's on the slide.
Sure. So these, so myself and our team lead Robert are in this photo with a choir that came over from Kisumu, Kenya. They are here through the Maisha Project, which is a nonprofit organization located in Oklahoma City and Kisumu that gives food and education and housing to orphans in that area. So Robert and I were able to go and meet with these individuals as well as the adults that came over from Kenya with them and hear a little bit about what their life is like in Kenya, how if they are realizing any of these problems with the water crisis, and how they see Water4's model improving their life as it is right now.